Hey guys, welcome to your 6th COD World at War Zombies mod menu based scripting tutorial. Now in this tutorial we're just going to basically be creating the background to our mod menu and possibly the shader as well, depending on the amount of time it takes us to create the background. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to create a new function to deal with creating a rectangle, because essentially the background and shader is just going to be a rectangle. So just call it create rectangle. And it does need a lot of parameters. So the first one that we need is a line, then relative, x, y, width, height, color, sort, alpha, and finally shader. Now basically we're just going to create a new variable which we're just going to call rectangle, equal to a new client HUD element for the current player, so self. And now we're just basically going to be creating all of the properties to go with rectangle. So rectangle.lm type equals bar. If you're not on level dot split screen, okay, split screen, then rectangle dot x -2 and rectangle dot y equals -2, sorry. Then rectangle dot width equals width, rectangle dot height equals height, rectangle dot align equals align, rectangle dot relative equals relative, rectangle dot x offset equals 0, rectangle dot y offset equals 0. Make sure that you don't do any typos, otherwise it's not going to know what you're talking about. Rectangle dot children equals 2 empty square brackets to mean array, rectangle dot sort equals sort, rectangle dot color equals color, rectangle dot alpha equals alpha, rectangle set parent bracket level dot UI parent bracket, rectangle set shader width height bracket, rectangle dot hidden equals false, rectangle set point align relative x y, and then finally return rectangle. So basically all we're doing is we're just creating a new variable called rectangle equal to a new client HUD element for the current player that's running this function, aka self. And now we're just setting all of the properties for the rectangle, such as the position and so on. And just for those of you who don't know, basically the parameters here are what we're going to be putting when we actually call the function itself. So for example, self thread create rectangle, then this one would be a line, so for example 3 would be a line, 4 would be relative, 2 would be x and 1 would be y, and so on. So basically when it says, for example, rectangle.width equals width, it's setting the property for the rectangle which we're creating just here. It's setting the width property for that rectangle equal to the given width up here, and then the same for all of these. So now that we've got that function, now we can go ahead and create the actual rectangle for our background. So in display menus, just underneath the for loop, just put self.menu background equals create rectangle. Now we're going to need to actually match it up with the inputs or the parameters. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and then put this just here so that I can reference to it. So we need a line which is going to be center, relative is going to be center, x 0, y 0, width we're just going to put to 100, height 1000 to cover the entire top to bottom of the screen, color it's a what is it, a red, green, blue value, which we're just going to put it to black, so 0, 0, 0. Then sort we're going to put to 2, which is, actually we're going to put to 5. Sort is essentially the layer on the screen. So for example, something that has a sort of 5 would be showing rather than something that has a value of 4. So say if we had a square that was 100 width with a sort of 4, and then a square with 40 width with a sort of 5, then the smaller square with the sort of 5 would be in front of the bigger rectangle with the sort of 4. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, alpha we're just going to set to 1. It can be 0 or 1 or a point, I think. And then shader we're just going to put black. Now we can go ahead and get rid of this, and we can self-thread destroy weight self.menu background, and that's it. So basically all we're doing is when it's about to display the menu and it's got all of the text, all it's simply doing is it's creating a new variable called menu background in the self, which is the current player, equal to a new rectangle with basically the center of the screen positioning, 100 width, 1000 height, a black color, a sort of 5, an alpha set to true or 1, and then the shader is black. And then all it's doing is it's going to thread destroy await, which is just here, with self.menu background, and all that's going to do is just wait until this is called to destroy it. So that's it. So now we can go ahead and save it and then test it out. Right guys, so there was one bad syntax error, and that was just simply a typo on the create rectangle function. Just make sure that you haven't mistyped the word rectangle or anything else for that matter. Just make sure that you've got everything the same, and then it should work. So basically just go and press the melee button to toggle our menu, and you can see that we now have a background just behind our text, and now if we press it again you can see that it destroys. So that's pretty much it guys. You can see that it's fully working, and the next tutorial will probably be the shader as well as something else. Shader won't take us too long to do because it's just essentially the same thing, but yeah. So thanks for watching guys, feel free to leave your support, like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, see ya.